Tigers, and welcome. I'm Mrs. Anderson, your career specialist. I'm super excited today to be introducing our very first virtual career fair. That's right, we are having our very first virtual career fair, and you get to be a part of it. Have you thought about your future? Have you thought about what you want to do after you graduate from high school? Do you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, or maybe even a counselor? Well, maybe you've not made that decision yet, but can I encourage you and tell you that now is the time to start exploring your future. That's right, now is the time for you to start thinking about what you want to do in the future. And today, you get to hear from the experts. You get to hear from professionals who have jobs working within the 16 career clusters. Remember, career clusters are categories that jobs fall under. And so I hope that you will take notes and that you will start to think about your future. I'm hoping that after you listen to these professionals and these experts in their fields, that this will get you to thinking about your future, because guess what? You have a very bright future in front of you. And so I hope that you enjoy our very first virtual career fair.
Hi, my name's Simone, and I am an RN. I'm a nurse here at Charleston ENT. I did a 4-year program which earned me a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and so you can choose to do a 4-year program with a BSN, or you could do a 2-year program and you can be an LPN. So you don't necessarily have to do the 4-year route. That was just the option that I chose when I went to college, and I went to college at the University of Massachusetts. So once I started training in nursing, I decided that I wanted to kind of specialize. And so I did start out doing general nursing in a trauma unit, and then after that I decided I wanted to do research because that's kind of where my passion was. And so I started doing research at Harvard and Harvard School of Health, and did that research there, and went on to do cancer research at a hospital called Dana-Farber Cancer Institute in Boston, and really got into a passion for doing research and trying to find new drugs to help come to market to help patients. A lot of times when you have drugs that have been on the market for a long time, sometimes people build up immunity to them. They stop working, they're not as efficacious, and so there's a whole host of reasons and costs why new drugs need to come to market. So similar with how the vaccine has come to market for COVID, that's similarly what I do in my field. So pharmaceutical companies come to me and they have a new drug and they want to get patients to try the drug to see if they'll tolerate the drug, different dosing. There's a whole different array of reasons that you need to do research. And so it just depends on the pharmaceutical company and what they're looking for. So one study that I am working on currently is to try to find a cure for hearing loss. There's nothing on the market that can cure hearing loss. And so the company I'm working with has developed a drug that could possibly help recover someone's hearing, which is unheard of. Once I get a patient that's interested in doing a study, I do what's called informed consent, which is what I explain the entire study to them. The doctor explains the study to them. We give them time to think about it, share it with their family, make an informed decision whether or not they would like to try it. All the risks and the benefits are gone over about the study with that patient. If the patient agrees, that's when we start what's called, we follow the protocol, and it's almost like a recipe book. And you follow this guideline on how to administer the drug and all the tests that they need to take in order to get the medication. And then we follow those patients anywhere from 6 months to 2 years. And so it's really rewarding to see we've helped a few drugs get to market. And so it's really exciting to see that when people get better, when a drug that you've been working on actually gets out into the field, into the stores, and into people, and it actually helps. So that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. But obviously nursing encompasses many more things. So that's just a specialty that I chose in nursing, but you have a lot of things that you can do in nursing besides research. A lot of people want to know about salaries. I think a Bachelor of Science nurse can make starting anywhere $50,000 a year and up. Some traveling nurses make more than that. And then for my particular field in research, you can make anywhere from say $75,000 up to say $200,000 doing clinical research. And so it just again depends on kind of what you decide to do. But just know that nursing on a whole has so many different avenues, so many different possibilities. And you don't have to just be on a floor taking care of patients. There's so many other ways that you can be a nurse and expand that role. So if there's anything that you should think about, I definitely think you should think about being a nurse. It's a great field.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Austin Anderson. I'm Miss Anderson's son. And I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what it is that I do. I started off my career in New York, working for the New York Mets. Now I work for Lowe's at their corporate office in Charlotte, North Carolina. And my position is an e-procurement integration analyst. And basically what that is I work with large businesses and corporations who have new projects that they want to build. And so they'll come to me to work directly with Lowe's to get all of their products and necessities for their projects. And I really enjoy what I do. I've handled millions of dollars in transactions for companies such as the Atlanta Falcons, the Carolina Panthers, Clemson University. And I really enjoy my job. I make good money. But I feel like one of the most important factors to my success has been having a good education. Of me being from a small town of Orangeburg, South Carolina, it's not a lot of opportunities, not a lot of resources. So education was one of the most important things that I had in my tool belt in order to be successful. So I just want to encourage you guys to stay in school, stay on top of your work, even when it gets hard, and you will be successful.
Hello, I'm Davey Rickenbacker. Now, some of you may not know me, but today you're going to find out. I am from the great city of Orangeburg, South Carolina. I graduated from the illustrious Tuskegee University, which is an HBCU in Tuskegee, Alabama. Now today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my career trajectory from high school to college to grad school to TV to the workforce. Now, for those of you who don't know, I competed in the hit reality series Survivor on CBS in the year of 2018. But we'll get into that a little further along the way. Let's take it back to Orangeburg, South Carolina, where I started and I was born. I am a single man, but when I was younger, I grew up in a very big household. Mom, dad, 2 brothers, some dogs, some cats here and there, a parakeet one time. Once we had a rabbit. So I was exposed to animals a lot when I was a younger guy. And Tuskegee University is a school that specializes in veterinary medicine. So at that time, when I was younger, I thought what I wanted to do when I grew up was to be a veterinarian. I had a puppy that passed, and it really struck me in a way to where I felt like, you know what? This is what I want to do with my life. I want to help animals. So I majored in animal science when I got to Tuskegee University in Tuskegee, Alabama. And now, maybe I'm not being 100% upright with you guys. Tuskegee University was not my first choice in going to college. I wanted to go to a school called North Carolina A&T, which I'm sure a lot of you are pretty familiar with, being that South Carolina State is their rival. And the reason I didn't want to go to South Carolina State was because my parents had both graduated from there. Of course, it's right there in Orangeburg, so I felt really connected to, to that university growing up, and I wanted to be my own man and step apart from the rest. I wanted to go out and start my own life. Now, that did come with some out-of-state tuition fees. So when you guys are picking a college, if you want to go out of state, you're going to have to land some scholarships. And you need to be doing your work in high school, doing your work in middle school to get you to that point where you have the GPA that can get you some scholarships in those schools. Now, it's not just GPAs that can get you there. It's, sports, football, basketball, even band can get you a scholarship that will help you and your parents' pockets along the way. Now, back to Tuskegee. As I said, North Carolina A&T was my first choice, but that out-of-state fee really hurt me. And the only way that I could combat that was if I went to school and majored in accounting. And math is not my strong suit. So I was on the band, and some of you may not know, but Benjamin F. Payton, who was the president of Tuskegee University, is from Orangeburg, South Carolina as well. So I was able to pull in those connections with my father, and we were able to get me a presidential scholarship and a band scholarship, and Tuskegee was going to be my new home. So fast forward through Tuskegee. Along the way, I realized that animal science may not be the thing that I want to do. So I got interested in a field called public health. So I went back to Tuskegee after I graduated with my bachelor's to receive my master's degree in public health. And public health is basically just helping the health of the nation, helping communities be safe when it comes to certain diseases, when it comes to certain conditions. We're there to help combat that. So after graduating from Tuskegee with my master's, I started working for the Centers for Disease Control. And most of you know, we're the ones who try to get rid of all these diseases. Yeah, we're working on the coronavirus too. So hopefully we'll have that taken care of by sometime this year. Let's hope and pray. So while I was at the Center for Disease Control, there was always one thing that I wanted to do, and it was to compete in the reality show Survivor. I applied, took a leap of faith, believed in myself, and lo and behold, they called me back. I flew out to Survivor. I lived on an island eating rice, eating octopus, eating fish, using the bathroom in the ocean for 38 days. For a prize of $1 million. And though I did not win that $1 million, the prize that I won was so much more. My faith in God and being out there and just, having that really took me through, and I have memories for a lifetime. So, after Survivor, I was able to get my job back with the CDC. And that just goes to show you guys, boys and girls, young men and young women, do what you want to do in life. Get your education, have that you can fall back on so you can chase your dreams. I wouldn't have been able to quit my job and come back and get my job if I didn't have that degree. It just goes to show you, if you have faith in God, you have a strong support system, and you have a plan, you can go anywhere in life. But thank you guys for sitting through this little spill of mine. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Davey, Twitter, I tweet Davey, and TikTok, I speak Davey. God bless you guys, and I know you're gonna do great in your future.
Hello, future educators, nurses, politicians, electricians, judges, lawyers, and doctors. My name is Miss Williams, and I am a third grade teacher in Berkeley County at Howell Hall Ames Magnet School. We are our arts and fusion school where I work weekly with our fine arts teachers. We teach dance lessons, we do art together, we do PE, and we also do drama. So at our school, our students are able to participate in many activities. We have something where we call exploratories, where we work with our students with the arts. Even though I'm not an art teacher, I can also assist my students with the history of art. And these are just some examples we call exploratories of our students' art. And all these students are students from 3rd grade to 5th grade. They're showcasing their work. And we have so much fun in our school because we get to learn and have fun. As we're growing, we have fun. Our students also do design. We had a fashion show where we had a special visitor from Miss South Carolina. And the students from our school, they designed this dress for her out of recycled plastic. Yes, they use recyclable goods to make this dress for Miss South Carolina. At our school, we also do musicals. Each grade level does a special musical. This is our dance group. Students get to participate in dance. We also get to participate with steel drums. So being a teacher, you have many possibilities. You can work at a traditional school, or you can work at a school of the arts, or you can work at a magnet school. When I was in college at South Carolina State University, I had no idea that I would be participating in an arts-infused magnet school. So guys, believe in yourselves. The sky is the limit to your possibilities. I was once like you, a student in a rural classroom with dreams of being someone who would make a difference in the world. And I was able to go to college. I was the first person in my family to go to college. I was the first person in my family to become a teacher. And I enjoy teaching my students because I get to see them grow and develop. When they come to me at the beginning of the year, I get to see them grow from one grade level to the next grade level. So my classroom is my happy place. My students become my children. So guys, I believe in you, and I know you guys are going to do well. Best wishes on selecting the best career for you.
So good afternoon, I'm John Ansley. I'm an ear, nose, and throat physician, and I've been asked to give you a little bit of insight into what my day looks like and what it took to get here. I grew up in Charleston, South Carolina, and for a typical physician, it involves obviously graduating high school, then 4 years of college, followed by 4 years of medical school. After the 4 years of medical school, your training can range anywhere from 3 years on up to 8, 9, even 10 years of specialty training. In my particular case, after I was done with med school, I did 5 years of ear, nose, and throat training, followed by an additional year of training, what's called a fellowship in pediatric ear, nose, and throat. That's typical what training's involved, and I want to tell you a little bit about what I think it takes to become a physician. First of all, I chose the field of medicine because I was interested in making people better. I know it's a cliche, it's what you hear all the time, but it's really, I think, the most fundamental aspect of choosing this profession. You have to really want to be a servant. You actually want to make people better, and you want to enjoy interacting with people. I think you need to have a curiosity because a lot of what we do is problem solving, and you just have a desire to learn. You don't have to be a math whiz, you don't have to be a science whiz. You just have to be someone who's willing to work hard. You just have to want to study, put in a lot of effort, because actually, whatever you hear, medicine itself or medical school itself, is it technically difficult or the concepts are difficult? It's really about the volume that you have to learn. And so because of that volume, it takes a lot of discipline to spend a lot of hours studying and working hard. One of the things that one of my professors taught me was attention to detail. I try to impart that upon my son. but it's really a key aspect of medicine. You really need to pay attention to everything you're doing and be really one of these people who's detail oriented. So some days I start my morning operating, and I do surgeries ranging from putting tubes in kids' ears to taking out thyroid, to doing head and neck operations, to doing sinus surgery, to taking out polyps on vocal cords so people can talk better. One of the other things, after I'm done operating, I'll come see patients in the clinic, and I'll see patients with all types of ailments, from allergies to wax in the ears to hoarse voice to sinus infections to dizzy patients. So it's a real broad variety that I'm involved with, and I treat kids from very young to 90 years old, and that's one of the more interesting things with the field of ear, nose, and throat medicine. We're not restricted to adults, we're not restricted to kids. We can see both. My day ranges from starting in the morning at 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the operating room to finishing up hopefully by 5 or so. That's one of the nice things about the field of ear, nose, and throat medicine is that my days aren't as long as some others. Some of the different disciplines like cardiothoracic surgery or general surgery, they have a lot more call, a lot longer hours. My days tend to be not that long. And so this has somewhat of a lifestyle. Come closer, Simone. We'll close this door here. I'm starting to see patients. My field tends to be more of a lifestyle specialty in the sense that I'm not operating in the middle of the night. I tend to see patients that are healthier and more of a controlled environment. One of the things I think people are always shy about talking about in job fair is income. Physicians do very well. That should not be your motivation for looking into this field, but you have physicians that make easily over $100,000 up to $1 million. And so you can, put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, but at least financially you will be rewarded. I think the field is bright. There's certainly some naysayers out there who are worried about, the government and management controlling this field, but I think there's no more rewarding specialty. One of the things I remember is when I was much younger, I worked as a dishwasher and I delivered pizzas and I had all these odd jobs. And I remember I'd start my day at 8 and by 9 o'clock I'd be looking at the clock wondering when my break was coming up. That's not the case with this. I absolutely love what I do. I enjoy what I do. And I think if you're considering a career where you'll actually not mind coming to work, feel rewarded, and receive financial success, I think you should definitely look at the field of medicine.
Hi, good morning. My name is Leah and I'm an attorney. I live in Atlanta with my husband and we have a 7-month-old son, and I just wanted to share a little bit with you today about my career, how I got here, and what I do. So when I was in college, I was a political science major, which really is just a major that teaches you about the government and how the government works. And I really liked it. What I liked most about it was reading and writing, and those practices really prepared me well for law school. Going into college, I thought I wanted to be an attorney, so that's why I chose a major that gives you experience in reading a lot, writing a lot, digesting a lot of information, and it was really helpful. By the time I was ending my 4 years in college, I decided I did want to go to law school. My parents told me I should go to law school because I liked to argue, or I was good at arguing, but their encouragement meant a lot to me and was one of the reasons why I decided to go. I was the first attorney in my family, so never feel discouraged if you're interested in doing something and you're the first one in your family to do it. It can be daunting, but it's really exciting and can be really rewarding. So I decided to take the leap and go to law school. When I started law school, I wasn't sure what kind of attorney I wanted to be. in law school, and once you get out of law school, there are all kinds of attorneys that you can be. So even though everybody in law school practices, takes the same classes generally, learns the same kind of information, when you get out of law school, you have to make a decision about what kind of attorney you want to be. And that pretty much can be from real estate, so helping people buy pieces of land and sell pieces of land, helping people buy homes, or it could be litigation. You could be in the courtroom doing criminal law like you see on TV, or you could be in the courtroom doing commercial law, so you're litigating on behalf of companies or businesses, or the government, things like that. Or you could do what I'm doing, which is corporate law. So I represent companies and I help form companies for people. I help them make sure they're in compliance with corporate laws, state laws, federal laws. I help them buy other companies or sell part of their company. I help them buy assets, which is just a fancy word for equipment or cars or buildings or anything that they need to buy for their company that they might buy from someone else. And so when I was in law school, I really didn't know what kind of attorney I wanted to be, but I just took classes and tried to think, what am I interested in? What classes do I like the most? And so I just tried to pay attention, just like you can pay attention when you study for your tests, when you're reading for your classes. Which ones do you try to do first because you like those better? Or which classes do you try harder for because you seem to enjoy those? That's like, just giving you an inclination about what your passion might be and what you might be happy doing long term. And so that's what I did. I just kept following that little voice, that passion, whatever I really enjoyed doing. I just kept taking more classes on that and putting effort into that. And by my last year of law school is 3 years long. In my last year of law school, I was taking almost all business classes because I realized that's what I was really interested in. I liked learning about businesses, and I thought that I would go into a courtroom and be arguing in front of a jury, but at the end of the day, that's not what my passion led me to. And so I've been out of law school for 5 years now. I've been practicing corporate law, and I really, really like it. Some of the same things I liked from law school, as far as learning about people's businesses, all kinds of businesses, is really interesting to me. I really like that I work with business owners all the time, and I help them. I help them make their companies better. I help them keep their companies safe out of the courtroom. And some hard things about my job is that some days are really long. It requires long hours because sometimes people need things on a really fast turnaround or over the weekend. But at the end of the day, I really like what I do, and I'm really glad that I always kept following that passion and that voice. So whatever you're interested in, just know there's no limit. Don't feel limited by what your family has done. Don't feel limited if you don't have the background. Just keep following that passion, and you'll figure it out.
Hello, students. My name is Dr. Bridget Hollis-Staton. I am so honored to be able to speak with you today about my career path, and I'm super excited about you having the opportunity to select your own career path. These are just great times to be thinking about what you want to do. And I remember being in high school and in middle school and thinking about what is it that I really, really want to become. And so it's an exciting time, and I have a few things I'm going to share with you, but I want to just tell you it's okay if you don't know right now, but it's a great time to find out what others are doing. And as I share, just be thinking, what is it that I really, really want to do? As I said, my name is Dr. Bridget Hollis-Staton. I am currently a professor at South Carolina State University, and I am also a licensed professional counselor for the state of South Carolina. And the acronym for that is LPC. So I'm an LPC for the state of South Carolina. That's licensed professional counselor. Well, you ask, what does that mean? What are you able to do? One of the things that I do, because my specialty area is working with children, I'm able to counsel children. So just if a child comes in and says, you know what, I'm just not feeling good today. I've had some bad experiences. My parents are, divorced, or I've been in a bad situation. I'm in foster care. All of those issues. I'm angry sometime and I don't know why. Those are the types of situations that I work with children. And I help them to become better persons that live and work in our society. So I enjoy counseling. It is just a fun and a rewarding career. Well, you ask, well, how did you get there? One of the things I will tell you is I finished high school. I had to finish high school. When I left high school, I pursued an undergraduate degree in early childhood education, which allowed me to really learn more about children and how they think, how they function, and how they learn. And after I left there, I moved to, I was at Albany State University in Albany, Georgia. Then I moved to South Carolina. That's when I got my master's degree from South Carolina State at South Carolina State University. And I got my degree in rehabilitation counseling. That is when I began to bridge the connection between children and counseling. So excited. Such an exciting field counseling is. And I ended up moving to Illinois to get my doctorate. I got my doctorate in rehabilitation counseling so that I could teach. And my specialty area was learning disabilities. So I worked with students who had learning disabilities, I counseled, and I rolled all of that together to do what I'm doing now as a licensed professional counselor. It's really exciting. So let me show you. This is, I don't know if you can see it, but this is my degree to be actually a licensed professional counselor. Has my name there, my degrees, and it basically says that I am certified in the state of South Carolina. I am also, what is really good, and you'll learn this, to become members of professional associations. That's where everybody in the field of counseling comes together and they share information and knowledge. And this is my certificate here to say that I am a member of the American Counseling Association. So as you matriculate through your high school, your middle school, into high school, you will find it's just an exciting time to learn more about different careers. And if I can share any more about my particular field, or if you have any additional questions, please let me know. Again, my name is Dr. Bridget Hollis-Staton, and I'm excited for you. Go and find your career. It's an exciting time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Angel Anderson and I am a talent manager. A talent manager is someone who guides the professional career of artists in the entertainment industry. I also offer services for artists such as video and label distribution, radio promo, interviews, shows, playlist placements, and the list goes on. In order to have a career in entertainment, I believe you have to have heart, hustle, and be dedicated. You have to work hard. You have to be willing to do things other people don't want to do. You have to be willing to take a few losses sometimes, but it's all worth it in the end. Just chase your dream. And you also have to build relationships. Relationships are key when it comes to the entertainment industry, or any industry for that matter. Relationships and networking will always be very important.
educators. My name is Carrie Fersner, and I am so glad to be joining you all for your career day. So I'm going to be talking about my two careers. The first of which is the fact that I am an author and entrepreneur. I recently released, back in October, my first children's book entitled The ABCs for Little Queens in Christ, which was a book that I wrote to inspire young girls all over the world to find their identity in Jesus Christ and to take a hold of His promises in their life. So, with this book, I of course had to be a great reader because, as we know, great readers are great writers. I wrote this book. I was able to work with an illustrator who is local to the South Carolina area, and I also facilitated the printing process and created my own website, www.carriespeaks.org, and that is where I sell my books. So to be an entrepreneur and an author, you definitely have to have drive. You definitely have to have a vision for what you want to do with your product. Mine, in this case, is a book, and also other resources that I've digitized and created and that are also held on my website. And you also have to have great people skills to be able to work with different parts and different pieces and aspects of your book or of your business in order to make the whole thing come together. So I also have a second career that I'll be talking about, and that is the fact that I currently serve as a personalized learning coach with the South Carolina Department of Education. Prior to this career, I also spent many years as a teacher. Yes, you got it right, a teacher. And matter of fact, I was a middle school teacher. So I really enjoyed my time as a teacher, and the experiences that I had working with my students and getting to know more about how to adequately meet their needs is what led to my current career as a personalized learning coach. So with this current career, I pretty much support schools, districts, teachers, administrators all across the state in order to make learning more personalized for you, the students. So I do that in a variety of ways. First of all, I work with a team, so we have to be very collaborative. We work hand in hand together. We create a lot of content for schools and districts to take a hold of, whether that be in the form of community groups or module lessons. And we basically facilitate presentations and also do a plethora of other things. So my day really consists of a lot of communication, a lot of collaboration, a lot of design. As a part of my job currently, I also manage our office website, and I also do a lot of the graphic design for the website. And additionally, I even host a podcast, which is really cool. So you might be thinking, Miss Carrie, what do I have to do in order to do all those things? Well, number one, you have to be a good student. You have to be someone who's a lifelong learner. I didn't necessarily go to school for graphic design, for web design and things like that, but I was very attentive in all my classes. And in middle school and high school, I was actually on track to becoming an engineer. And so I took a lot of Project Lead the Way engineering classes, which taught me how to be a critical thinker, how to be a problem solver, and how to be innovative no matter what space I was in. So I was able to take those skills, tricks, and tools that I learned during my middle school and high school years and definitely apply them in my adult life. So after high school, I attended Winthrop University and majored in middle level education, which, remember, I told you I was a teacher. That's what kind of segued me into the classroom. I also had a sub-major in math and science. So when I became a teacher, I taught math and science. Like I said, my experiences in my teaching career and just learning more about personalizing student learning and how to make learning equitable for all students, those things came from my experience as a teacher, and they are what kind of segued me into my current job. So I hope that this is a little glimpse and insight into my career. I want to leave you with this note. You can be anything that you want to be in life. You can do anything you want to do. You don't necessarily have to go to a school in order to do it. Technology has made it such that we can learn how to do many things outside of the classroom. And so being an author and learning that process and becoming an entrepreneur, selling things on my own and marketing things on my own, those are things that I'm currently learning, and I am learning and growing as a person. So my key advice to you all is to always be a lifelong learner. If there's anything you want to do, soak up that knowledge, soak up that wisdom. Don't wait on anybody to come to you and teach you how to do something. You teach yourself how to do it as well. I won't knock colleges, but because I do believe that colleges give you a great opportunity to just become molded and shaped into the type of person that you will become in your adult life. But for those who college is not for you, that's okay. There are plenty of ways to learn in this life, and the internet is a great tool to use. So I hope that this has inspired and encouraged you. And once again, my name is Miss Carrie Fersner. It was so great to speak with you today. Peace.